Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. My name is Artem, and here is the news. 839 days less the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The Ukraine Recovery Conference started in Berlin. During the event, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has announced that Ukraine will receive new air defense systems from Berlin, including one Patriot system, as well as missiles and ammunition in the coming weeks and months, reports European Pravda. According to him, this is the most common need of the Ukrainian army right now. In May, Germany announced the start of training for Ukrainian crews on the third Patriot air defense system, which is to be delivered to Kyiv. It has also headed an initiative to find air defense equipment for Ukraine around the world. Later, German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius, at a joint press conference with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, said that Berlin and its partners agreed to transfer 100 Patriot missiles to Ukraine. 32 of them have already arrived. The initiative is implemented together with Norway, Denmark, and the Netherlands. According to the New York Times sources among the unnamed high-ranking U.S. administration and military officials, U.S. President Joe Biden made a decision after a series of meetings and debates to send the second American Patriot anti-aircraft missile system to Ukraine. The system will arrive from Poland, where it has protected a rotation of U.S. troops returning to the United States. The Patriot could be deployed to the front lines in Ukraine within the next few days, depending on the maintenance or modifications it needs. We would really appreciate if you could rate us, ideally with 5 stars, and leave a glowing review in the app where you are listening to this podcast, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, and others. This really helps more people to find out about the highlights from Ukraine and truth about Russia's invasion. During his speech at the opening of the Ukraine Recovery Conference 2024 in Berlin, Volodymyr Zelensky said that Ukraine, with the help of partners, intends to build up to 1 gigawatt of gas-fired power generation in 2024, and another 4 gigawatts in the coming years, reports Ukrinform. According to him, one of the elements for the normal functioning of Ukraine's energy industry is high-efficient, decentralized, maneuverable gas generation, which is able to solve the issue of energy shortage already today, and tomorrow it will be transferred to hydrogen and produce the new green energy. The President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, announced in Berlin that Ukraine will receive 500 million euros to repair damaged energy facilities, reports ICTV. In addition, the EU is providing another 1,000 solar panels and generators. The EU's goal, as von der Leyen stressed, is to help decentralize Ukraine's energy system and thus increase its resilience. Von der Leyen added that the first 1.5 billion euros of income from frozen Russian assets will be transferred to Ukraine already in July, reports Interfax Ukraine. She said that almost 10% will go to reconstruction and recovery, a large percentage to defense. The President of the European Commission also announced that this week at the G7 summit, the question of how Ukraine can benefit even more quickly from frozen Russian assets will be discussed. According to Nikkei, the G7 group will create a fund to support Ukraine using revenues from frozen Russian assets, reports Ekonomiczna Pravda. The fund will be created under the auspices of an international organization such as the World Bank. The United States, United Kingdom, Japan, and other countries will contribute in the form of loans. Profits from the investment of frozen assets will be used to repay those loans. The fund will provide assistance to Ukraine in the form of donations, though the country will not be obliged to return the money. G7 leaders intend to reach an agreement on this issue at a summit in Italy. The total amount of Russian assets frozen by the West is $300 billion. 2/3 of them are located in the EU, and most of them belong to the Belgian clearinghouse Euroclear. Thank you for listening to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast. We're a commercial initiative of just 2 people, and we need your help to grow. Share information about the podcast, rate us in the app, subscribe to our Patreon. With your support, we are getting better. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.